Alright, so it's time to get the final one shard in Future Islands? Oh, so you're happy about this, huh, Frogger? Hey, well, at least he's finally not complaining about something. And by something, I mean wizard tech. No, it's a wisdom shard, idiot. Must be the crystal of the world's wisdom, because you forgot an apostrophe. Gotcha! I mean, this is Konami, so of course there was absolutely no spelling or grammar check. Let's just be sure that these robots are malfunctioning and trying to kill Frogger. Nope, actually they're working as intended. They just really hate frogs. Alright, so, Future Island. Probably the most consistent world in the game. I'd say the last level's pretty good, and the second last level, actually not bad either. It is probably the least horrible second stage in the entire game. You know, the last one? I'm glad at least one of them's good. That being said, I don't like this. These really don't look like they're collapsible platforms, other than just, like, if you're kinda used to this game's platforming sections, you might look at them and say, those are probably gonna fall, aren't they? That sort of thing. Other than that, though, like, visually they just don't look like they're going to disappear under you, so a little iffy on that. Of course, I'm sure you can recognize the conveyor belts. Because, of course, we have to have conveyor belts somewhere, can't escape them. We'll get to those later, though. First off, though, do want to make mention of the background. That's actually a pretty cool looking background. I guess those are supposed to be cars down below, the little white dots? Ah well. Either way, obviously you can't jump onto the tracks because they're laser tracks, so you will die. You have to jump onto these cars, which, by the way, hitbox on these, not exactly the best. I kind of magnetized to that one, but that was surprisingly lenient for it. The robot here, of course, follows the pink trail, so easy enough to dodge. Don't have to worry about it. Of course, thinking back to this, I feel like this stage kind of overdoes it on these platforming sections. I mean, I'll take it over Volcano World's back and forth platforms, because those got kind of bad at times. And of course in the one in Haunted Island as well. Ooh boy, that one platforming section that I didn't really talk that much about, oddly enough, even though I hate it a lot and think it's the worst platforming section in the game. Even still, didn't talk about it too much. Anyway, if you want to go back to the beginning for some reason, you can. Don't know why you would, unless you missed the one card there. It's possible. You could have. This isn't too long of a stage, though. It's just all the cards are kind of lopsided, if I remember correctly. I think they're all, like, near the ends. Also, I don't quite know what the point of this is. It's just a really long conveyor belt through some buildings. I guess it's kinda cool aesthetics-wise? No, not really, actually. It's kind of interesting. So here we have some turning puzzles. Just make sure to be turned the correct way as you're going through the conveyor belts. You can just hop along these to go faster, but I wouldn't risk it too much, especially when you get close to the end. Otherwise, you might accidentally fling yourself into the abyss, and you don't want that, right? I mean, maybe you do. Maybe you want to watch Frogger plummet to his death, but I don't know, that seems kind of needlessly cruel, you jerk. I probably could have super jumped there, but maybe I didn't have the time. Alright, I think this is also a shortcut, right? Yeah, we don't need to go through here. I guess that one section on the conveyor belt through the buildings is probably just to get everything to line up. But, they could have done a better job on that. Maybe you could have put more collapsible platforms in that section, huh? You could have done that. Actually, yeah, I'm pretty sure we're near the end now. Oh, we got a very tricky bit of platforming right here. You have to time that really well. You gotta turn and you gotta turn and you gotta jump very quickly. Otherwise, yeah, you're gonna fling yourself into the abyss. And again, not something you probably want to do. We are nearing the end of the stage, though. I definitely recognize this as being near the end. Yes, that was actually a fairly short stage. We do want to grab this, though, because to our right is the end of the stage, I believe, but there's one more card in the bonus stage down here, so let's go and hop to it. Oh man, I can't believe I've gone 5 parts without making a hop to it pun. Probably because it's not a good pun. I can do better than that. I have some sort of dignity. Alright, so here we go. I don't remember this bonus section at all. There's really no danger here other than falling, and I got a decent amount of time for that. I probably could have done that faster, but I still wound up with 2 seconds left. Also, yeah, I'm at 99 lives, so, you know, I don't need to pick up a life ever again. Okay, anyway, not too bad on the backtracking this time. Could be a little shorter, but it's not the minecart stage. Alright, and we are... went on a little longer than I thought, but we're done here. Not too bad, right? Alright, so that was Technopolis, I believe? Yeah, Technopolis. And our final level, of course, it's definitely the final level, is Digital Dominion. So, this area's actually got a pretty good song and some weird-ass robots. If you're wondering what those things at the end of the conveyor belts are, take a guess. It's death. It's always death. It's Frogger. So, the hardest thing about this stage is probably the fact that it's really hard to figure out the robots' movements. They don't go over pits or anything, but they look a little erratic. I'm sure they do have a pattern, but usually there's some sort of tile to indicate what that pattern is. I don't remember any at all in this stage. There might be a few, but yeah, for the most part they do roam about, not randomly, but a little confusingly at times. Not that guy, he's fairly standard. Though I guess that means he's the only one not conforming if you think about it. Alright, so we pressed a yellow switch earlier, that made the yellow beam deactivate. We gotta find 2 more switches over here. Alright, so we've got a, okay, we are going this way. So we've got a, I almost want to call this a stealth section, it's not. Basically, these tiles right here that I'm standing on, and not standing on, and now standing on, these are the safe zones. That I will light up the areas it sees, and of course, if you step on those tiles, you die. Unsurprisingly. So, just wait for it to go down, press this, and I don't think it deactivate. Oh, maybe it did, because it seemed to just be spinning around at that point, but I swear it doesn't deactivate just because you press that switch. I could be wrong, but it's easy enough to escape. And easy switch. Alright, so now that all 3 of those lasers blocking the way are deactivated, we can move on. Anyway, did I mention that this stage's music is good? It is. I kinda like it. Though it does kinda sound weirdly like exercise music or something, at least at the beginning. It's just very upbeat. I guess these robots are working on, the glutes? Cardio? Exercise terms? Whatever you happen to be working out. Maybe they're doing that. This is actually just one big exercise institution that we're invading. I don't know why the Wisdom Shard ended up here, but it did. Either way, though, I'm not sure about the background. It's just orange. That's the entire aesthetic. Orange. Not much else other than that. The purple and blue is okay, though. I do like that. And we got towers for no reason? Yeah, honestly, I'm just not feeling this level's aesthetic. Not at all. And that guy is pretty closely guarding the area we need to go to, so, of course, we need to deactivate that eye by going out of our way for it. Yeah, honestly, this seems like a semi-mishmash of just stuff. Okay, so I like the level design. I feel it's actually kind of challenging without being too overboard. Sometimes the patterns are a little weird, the enemy movement patterns, but other than that, yeah, I feel like it's a decent challenge without being like stupid or being the previous second stage haunted castle or whatever that was. That level was just boring and not that difficult other than a few platforming sections, but this I feel like it's fairly fast moving, it's got a decent bit of variety. It does slow down a little bit here and there, but not too bad, so I'm gonna say it's pretty good. These platforms I feel like are a little more obvious that they're... I keep wanting to say crumbly blocks, but no, they disappear. Nothing about them crumbles, obviously. Either way, though, this is a fairly easy section. We've seen stuff like this before. Shouldn't be much of a problem, unless, of course, your L and R buttons are breaking and, you know, you're using an original Game Boy Advance, which, in fairness, given my experience, I would say could actually happen. Like, that for me was always the first thing to go on my Game Boy Advance or DS's. And I only ever had the original Game Boy Advance, so yeah, that's the only one that ever broke like that. The DS's, though, yeah, I for a while I got like pretty much every DS. I forget when I stopped doing that. I think the DSi I stopped getting literally every single one of them, but they'd always lose their L and R buttons before everything else, which, let me tell ya, made Mario and Luigi a pain in the ass to play. Oh yeah, and of course, actually yeah, now that I think about it, my Game Boy Advance kinda super died button-wise. The D-pad and all the buttons really just got super worn out to the point where it was impossible to play. Which also meant that, you know, playing Mega Man Battle Network Blue Moon, yeah, I couldn't actually beat the Woodman section because, of course, there's that weird glitch on the DS, or, well, I want to say DS version, but it wasn't the DS version, it's just playing on the DS. And, you know, it wouldn't appear on the Game Boy Advance, but I absolutely could not move around with that D-pad. It was just too hard by that point. Anyway, I just realized I'm talking about not Frogger. And, of course, you're here for Frogger, so I gotta keep talking about that. Though, that being said, this is kind of a difficult bonus section. I did have plenty of time left, but it is very easy to die there, partially because the death blocks do blend in a lot with the conveyor blocks right there. You know, when the conveyors aren't against each other, it's pretty easy to differentiate, but otherwise, yeah, it's surprisingly difficult, actually. Either way, though, we're at the end of the stage. So, we're of course going to be fighting what is absolutely, definitely the final boss. What are you talking about? It's going to be the final boss. We're done. Short Circuit. Yeah, see? Short Circuit for a short game. We're pretty much done here. Just gotta get one more shard. Yep, yes siree. Hocus, save me, like you always do. Like the one time where you, I mean, you talked to me. Oh no, that bastard, kill him! How dare you access a computer? Alright, so, our final boss is a memory game, which I'm not the best at. I feel like I had some sort of tip and or trick for this when I first played it, but now I've forgotten it. Well, basically, if you press the wrong key, you die immediately. Does he? No, he definitely repeats them from time to time, because... No, not this time. I'm pretty sure he can repeat keys. Maybe not for the first phase. Okay, he's not doing it so far, but I'm pretty sure. I'm basically just looking at it at this point to see if I'm right. Aha! He did repeat a key. Okay, so yeah, I forget what my tip and or trick was. You might think it's over, but he blows up, and now there are these guys here for some reason. So this is a lot harder because instead of jumping around, their jaws just move, which I feel make the patterns less memorable. Yeah, I guess I don't really have good advice if I don't remember my tip and or trick. Have good short-term memory? Don't be like me, who has terrible short-term memory. I have very bad memory, so yeah, this was a pain, and this is really fast actually, so yeah, it's kind of difficult. I guess it usually does end in the middle, so there we go. And we're done here. Yay! That wasn't so bad, right? Game complete. Hooray, we murdered a robot. Take that, wizard science. You're always so pushy. Wait a second, that line sounds familiar. Well, let's not pay attention to that. Oh, okay. Fetch me the shard, boy! Oh no, I definitely remember this line. Oh no, Frogger said hocus, but the computer said pocus. That's a different name. Oh no! Oh my god, Frogger, can you not recognize a villain speech? Frogger, you're the worst. How have you survived this long? Oh no, it was evil all along. Who could have guessed? Ah, but thank goodness we got droplets.